What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Masters of Universe / Stranger Things 2-pack. These figures are done in the Masters of the Universe Origins style and scale, so 5.5 inch, roughly 5.5 inch to 6 inch figures. We've got Skeletor on the top, and then in order to see the Demigorgon appropriately, we've got to flip the box upside down. Pretty cool artwork. As far as that goes, I would have actually preferred them to be side by side. I think they could have fit really well like that, but we've got the whole thing with the upside down world going on in Stranger Things, so that's probably why they did this with the box. And then as we turn it to the side, we've got a really great picture of Skeletor there. I think he's pretty cool looking. It's not really what I'm used to seeing as Skeletor. The face looks a little bit off to me, but it's a pretty cool piece of artwork. Then on the back, we have that same style Skeletor with a little bit different face. Like I said, it's just not really what I'm used to seeing filmation style, but it's okay, and we do recognize that it's Skeletor. Over here, we have the Demigorgon, and it says Upside Down Eternia. And I'll go ahead and zoom in on this so you can pause it or something like that if you want to read it yourself. It says, in his efforts to capture the power of Grayskull, Skeletor rips through the fabric of the universe into a new, darker world, the Upside Down. Now subject to the rule of Vecna, Eternia counts once again on He-Man to fight back horrors like the Demigorgon and return Eternia back to home. Pretty cool. Then down here, we've in the little cross cell, we've got the Havoc staff and Skeletor here, and then upside down we have the Demigorgon and his looks like a dice on each end, like a D&D dice, a D20, and some flames there, so that looks really cool. And we will go ahead and flip it to this side where we have to flip it up once again, and then we can see the awesome artwork of the Demigorgon. And there he is holding his D20. So here we are back around to the front of the box, doing a little bit of shaking. We're going to go ahead and get this guy pulled out of the box, get a closer look, and see what we think. So here we are after we've pulled it out of the main outer box. And you can see that they're both just kind of in their plastic prisons. I just wanted to take a look at them like this first. They're looking really cool. I'm telling you what, this is a pretty cool color scheme. I'm really liking this metallic looking purple that we've got on all Skeletor's accessories. And I kind of like this purpley pink look that we've got on the Demigorgon. I'm kind of excited to get him pulled out of there and see what parts have been reused. I can tell we got maybe some Beastman parts on there, but I'd like to just go ahead and get him pulled out and take a closer look. As we pull this part out, you can see that really cool artwork right there of the upside down Eternia. Pretty cool looking box. The way that it's set up, again, I think it would have displayed nicer if it was like this and you could kind of set up a little diorama or something, but we got to work with what we got here, and this is what we got, so it's probably just going to get put to the side. We'll go ahead and pull these guys out. Havoc staff. Looks like we're going to have to cut some bands. Cutting bands, cutting bands. About to start leaving this part out of the videos. Feel like we're just wasting time, and you guys probably don't want to watch me struggle through this anyway. Maybe you do. Maybe some people are here just for the band break-in. Is that everything? Maybe. I think we got it. right, let's get all these bands to the side. Huge pile of bands, never-ending pile of bands. Well, let's get these guys set up here. Come on, Demigorgon. I need you to stand. And there's Skeletor. So there we got the pair stood up kind of close to each other, hanging out. And let's take a look at their weapons. Now, like I said, this is a really cool color purple. This is probably the best Skeletor sword that I have seen to date. Really liking it. It doesn't feel too flimsy. It's a nice, thicker, harder plastic, but at the same time, it doesn't feel brittle. So I like that. As far as his staff, it is a little bendy in the rod, as it always is, but it's straight. Normally, when you pull these things out of the box, they got a bow to them from the plastic and the ties holding them in there. Really cool. Definitely just a classic take on the Havoc staff. And then the D20 mace, we'll call it. Let's go ahead and flip these around that way. Looks pretty cool. It's way more of a robust thing than I thought it was. I didn't realize that it was going to be this big. Or heavy, rather. It's pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. It's the same kind of little bit bendy there in the middle like his staff, but then the dice feel really solid. Really good accessory. We're going to go ahead and pull the Demigorgon off to the side, and we're going to take a closer look at Skeletor first. All right, now he should have the standard Origins articulation. He will look to the left. He will look to the right. You can do a full 360 with him. And look at that paint. Just look at it. It's awesome. I love this color of purple. I feel like this is a great choice. We got the mouth open. We got the red eyes, but we have a paler face. It's not really the normal yellow-green face that we're used to seeing on Skeletor. And I got to admit, I like this color scheme. It's looking real good. His arms will rotate. We can get this little piece out of the way. They will rotate all the way around. They will go up to about there. He does have a single jointed elbow. As you can see, he can hit himself in the forehead. He does have a hinge on his wrist, so he can bend out and in as far as go ahead and rotate all the way around. He does come apart at his waist, which also means he can articulate all the way around. But if you wanted to do some part swapping, he does come apart at the waist. So there you can see that. Also, the hands come off, the arms come off, the head comes off, and the boots come off. So he's fully customizable. As we move down, he can do a pretty good split, pretty good Skeletor split. Then we do have the single jointed knee on the side here, as well as the articulating foot. It will point up, it will point down, and I believe it will spin all around. Yep. So just what we're used to seeing in these Origins figures as far as his articulation goes. Nothing new. We're just playing all the hits, just with a new color scheme that I quite enjoy. Now we will take a look at the Demigorgon. And it looks here like, first of all, his pad came off while I was busting him out of the plastic prison. So let's get that fastened back on there. As far as he goes, yeah, he looks kind of like he's got a Beastman body. He definitely looks like he has some new hands, new hand sculpts, new feet sculpts, or maybe these are the feet from the new Mossman. The Turtles of Grayskull Mossman. These could be the feet from that, actually. I have not received that figure yet, so I cannot compare them, but they kind of look like the new feet that I believe are on Mossman. He is wearing Beastman's armor, just with a different color scheme. It's kind of a copper or gold with this turquoise in the middle, as well as the turquoise underpants with a kind of maroon belt, and he does have maroon wrist bracers. As we move around to the back, it's just the standard open back Beastman armor that you can see here, just kind of sticks up at the top. Everything pretty much what we're used to seeing. We'll go ahead and go over the articulation with this head, because it is a big head. So it does turn to the left. It does turn to the right. It does not articulate down any more than that. That's as far down as he can look, and that's about as far up as he can look right there. These teeth are soft rubber, so you're not going to poke yourself with it. I was wondering about that, how sharp those teeth were going to be, so I'm glad to see that they are soft rubber. They shouldn't break, and they shouldn't poke any little kids. So his articulation is going to be the same as Skeletor. The arm's going to spin all the way around. He has a single jointed elbow that can bend up and down. He does come apart at the waist as well as articulate all the way around. He has a single jointed knee. And I forgot to mention this on Skeletor, but they also both have a swivel right here. Skeletor, it's right above the fur on his boot, and then this guy, it's about mid-calf. So you can swivel that, and then the foot will also swivel all the way around, as well as it will point up and it will point down. So you should be able to get this guy in some pretty cool poses. This looked like a pretty fun 2-pack. I'll have to admit that I wasn't expecting to see it on the shelf today. I actually was hunting for Slaker and actually found him, but then they only had one Slaker, but then they did have 5 of these 2-packs at the Target in Reynoldsburg, Ohio, if anyone's in this area. So you can find them. They did have 4 left. I only got 1. I'm not a hoarder of the characters. I like to leave some for other people to get. I definitely appreciate when people do that for me. There's nothing worse than going into a store that should have something and you find out one person has literally bought every one that they have. It just makes it rough on the community. I'm going to go ahead and pull out now. We're going to get Skeletor set up with his Havoc Staff, and we are going to get the Demigorgon set up with his weapon, and we're going to take a little closer look at them independently. All right, here is Skeletor set up with his armor. He only has one gripping hand, so he can only hold one thing or the other. I have the sword in his gripping hand, and then I just kind of have the Havoc Staff just set up here in that hand. It will not hold on to it. So maybe if you have another Skeletor that has a gripping hand, you can substitute that hand in there if you would like. However, just due to the color of this Skeletor's body, it's probably not going to match. I really like the color scheme that they did with this Skeletor. However, it does not leave any room for mixing and matching other parts from other Skeletors. But there's Skeletor all set up with his stuff. And I also wanted to show you, he does not have a place on the back of his armor to put his sword. There's no sheath or anything back here to attach his sword to, which is kind of a disappointment. I was hoping that there would be a place to put his sword, especially since he's only got the one gripping hand. But we're going to have to make the best of it, and I will probably end up posing him just like something like that, and just have the Havoc Staff kind of sitting there leaning up against his hand. I feel like that's going to work out just fine. And I don't have any Skeletors currently set up with a sword in their hand. Everybody's holding the Havoc Staff. So pretty cool change, and I think this is how I'm going to have him set up. And here is the Demigorgon set up with his D20 mace. D20 double-ended mace. Now, the one thing that I did notice about this mace is, yes, he can hold it in either hand. He does have kind of a grippy hand in both of his hands. However, the middle of the staff is not long enough really to reach back and forth for him to hold on with both hands. So it's either got to be one hand or the other. It would have been cool if they would have included an extension piece that would have made it more like a bow staff with the D20s on the end. But it's still a really cool weapon, and I think he holds it well. It matches up with him well. I don't even mind that it's a different color blue. It actually really looks nice with this character. They did a great job on the head sculpt. As you see, we have some reused parts, but this color I think is awesome. I honestly think this color would have worked for some other characters maybe as well. I'd like to see this color reused. I like it. I don't know why, but I like it. And I really like the color of Skeletor. So we're going to go ahead and bring Skeletor back in for our final thoughts. And as usual, Skeletor is going to be my favorite out of this set. Whenever there's a set of characters and it includes a Skeletor or a He-Man, more than likely that's going to be my favorite character in the set, either the Skeletor or the He-Man, just a big fan of those guys. The Demigorgon being something new, I like what they're doing. I like the way they incorporated him into the Origins line. He's a really cool looking figure, but for me, I'm going to have to go with Skeletor for my favorite. Let me know down in the comments which one of these guys you like better. Is this a set you're going to end up picking up? Are you excited to see some more Stranger Things crossovers in the future, perhaps? Could be a pretty cool idea. Like I said, the Demigorgon's looking good, so I'm excited for the future of Origins. Everybody have a blessed day. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Next, we will probably be doing Slaker because, as I said, I did find him the same time that I found this 2-pack. So there is Slaker, quick preview of him, and I am excited to get that guy unboxed. We just did Krang yesterday, so that's up on the channel, trying to get caught up on all the turtles of Grayskull. Have a good one, guys. See you next time.